As you know, if you've been here before, you love to listen to this man because he is a wealth of wisdom and he has a lot of great knowledge to impart to you. So we're excited to have him here. Again, he's an MD by trade, but he's moved into the alternative realm, and he also is the medical director for the alternative medical facility in George Dewey Medical Center in Subic. So anyway, he has a lot of great accolades, and we're excited to have him here. I am a sufferer. How many of you know someone who is a sufferer of asthma, or you are a sufferer of asthma yourself? Okay, I am somebody who was a sufferer of asthma, but because of our product Life Enzyme, it's really helped me with it. So I know that if you have asthma, it will help you as well. So anyway, so we're here to listen to him tonight. I don't need to introduce him. He's a wonderful man, and you'll love listening to him. Let's welcome Dr. Dizon again. Dr. Dizon.
Okay, this is a very critical topic because it's very close to my heart. I have asthma. I had asthma, and from childhood, I don't end up in the hospital because my mom was a midwife, but it's really very hard. You take a deep breath, and then your wheezes comes out, and you are given Bricanil or Ventolin, and you're shaking, and you're getting palpitations. Parang the cure is debilitating as well. So anyway, then I got into martial art, and somebody introduced me to Ursa, and I got rid of it. Anyway, how do you do this? Beyond this, last Monday, I was called by the Ompins to help set up a wellness center at Balisin Island. But they want me to close all the centers that we have. So I don't, yes. And the one in Makati, the City Club place there. So they want us to set up something in 2 months' time. And they said, you have to stop all the things you're doing. And so we prayed, and I said, maybe it's not as well, I have other things we're doing, it's not as lucrative as Balising Island. We met them on Monday, and the following day said, you go to Balising Island, we'll have you taken by private jet and end up there, Kinda scary.
Wow.
But God had other plans for me, so I said, sorry, I know it's not going to be that lucrative, but I can't make it. I have to, but I can train your doctors if you want. So they called me back. No, we want you on staff, even if come only once a week. You need not be the medical director, but we want you on staff. So then we got this plan.
Yeah.
Asthma is a chronic lung disease. It causes difficulties of breathing. No? Actually, when you inhale, okay lang. When you exhale, and we will study at least the basic of why we get asthma, how it is, and then what's the medical treatment, what's the alternative techniques. Actually, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of alternative techniques. May ano ba yan? Okay. So, it's caused by constriction, yung tightening of the airway, and the muscles surrounding the airways, and inflammation, which will bruise mucus and phlegm, and that makes the air harder to go in or out because of the tightness and the mucus blocking. And then there's soreness, swelling, and irritation of the airways in the lungs. Maraming causes. It's a chronic, when you say chronic, it's something that keeps coming back. No? It causes difficulty breathing. And the bronchial tubes, yung lining of the lung airway, become inflamed, and then this narrows down, and it can even be fatal. No? There have been patients that have really ended up in a hospital. They couldn't do anything. And some of them would not even react to the medications anymore. So we call that status asthmaticus. When you've given all the medicine, they still wheeze and things are tightening up. When a person without asthma breathes in, the air enters to the nose or mouth, it goes down the windpipe, enters the bronchioles or airways of the lungs, blood is oxygenated, then it comes back. That's the normal person. However, for asthmatic, it's difficult. In asthma patients, the airways are sensitive, they react to numbers of triggers such as smoke, pollens, infection, di ba yung mga fur of animals, no? Even the feathers, even the dust around us. Asthmatic usually hates smokers. We hate them, you know. And then some people end up with the perfumes. When you smell them, we react. Huh? So it will wax and wane over time with treatment. Sometimes you will have it when you're a kid, and then when you grow old, it's gone. Then when you in the 40s, 50s, it comes back. So these would be your tubules. These are these tiny air sacs, and since the air is not coming out, then the air sac gets dilated. So hindi makalabas. No? And of course, you get heartbeat, you get tachycardia or speeding up heart rate. You know, you try to breathe like this, and actually, it's not going out. Okay. So symptoms: you cough kasi may phlegm, may mucus. You wheeze because of the air tightening. It's like a whistle. We tell our patient, when you breathe in and out, do you feel that like there's a cat inside your lungs? You know? Yes, and they say, yes, we have that. Okay. And then, since you have shortness of breath and the tightness of the chest, there's even pain here when they're coughing really hard. And they cannot lie flat. Sometimes they would need 3 or 4 pillows. I notice when I lie down on my stomach, it helps me breathe more. So that's strange. So there are different types of asthma. There's the allergic asthma. You eat something, you get an asthmatic reaction. Exercise induced. I remember that my mom would want us to attend Boy Scouts or exercise and so on, because if I sweat out and there's sweat in my back, I would have asthma. It will be triggered. Okay. Later on, when I got into more serious sports like karate or aikido, kung fu, the asthma disappears. When a patient has severe asthma, we inject something called adrenaline or epinephrine. Immediately, supposed to be the airways will open up and the asthmatic attack will stop. Now, when you're having serious exercise, physical activity, your body produces adrenaline. So adrenaline is a natural anti-asthma that you produce when you are seriously working out. But you just run a little bit and get the sweat there. If it's an exercise-induced asthma, then you get asthmatic reaction. But if you make that person work really hard, or maybe scare them a little bit, adrenaline comes out, and it's your natural anti-asthma. Occupational asthma, there will be some work that can trigger it, and then there's the nocturnal asthma there. And usually we've linked this with people eating heavy dinner, and they sleep, and then they have the nighttime asthma. That's when we move the dinner before 6 p.m. We tell them, move your dinner before 6. That gives your lungs time to clear out phlegm. Now, the allergic asthma will be also diet-induced. Okay. So anyway, we shared that that's how it is. Some people says it's because of toxins in the intestinal tract. So those who are fond of colonics and enema, they say, you clear out the toxins from your... I remember when I was a kid, I would take 3 days, 4 days before I move my bowels. So probably it's true. Yes, I was very fond of meat then. Okay. Certain emotions, okay, can trigger asthma. In fact, some kids can trigger the attack when they're having tantrums. Or it seems they are triggered on call, like they say, I'm going to have an attack, and they will have an attack. And it's their way of manipulating their parents. So then the parents will obey. Yeah? So air pollution irritates the lungs, allergies, improper digestion, poor nutrition, free radicals, and rancid fats. So that's why there's a diet called non-mucus forming diet. Because when you have your asthma attack, you produce mucus. And there are food that causes mucus to build up. Okay. Resolving emotions from suppressed sadness has been shown to help along with diet. So people who suppress their emotions, my dad was a disciplinarian. I was a pastor's kid, and you know, when your dad is a pastor with a hand of iron, you're expected to behave better than everybody else because your dad is a minister. Very hard. You either rebel or he breaks you. You know? He broke me. So you suppress your emotion. You don't show your emotion, and the effect can be very hard. It took me years to be able to express myself. Very hard to express oneself or even show love. Okay, so here are some of the triggers: smoke, nighttime dust mites, pollen molds, weather and air pollution. Change in weather actually can trigger it. Pest, strong sense and odor, exercise, respiratory infection. So they would have no asthma attack, and sometimes there will be no wheezing, but you will have cough for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Because actually it's an asthmatic cough. It just doesn't have the wheezes. So, and then of course emotions. So what happens? These are your airway. This is the trachea. This is the bronchi. This is the bronchioles. So this would be your airway. So this is the normal. You have a reaction to whatever, then the airway tightens and tightens, then mucus is formed. So you now have a problem with the airway passage. The normal, this is the abnormal. See? And then you have the phlegm. Oh, lalo na, no? You can die with that. Okay, so, and then the air that's trapped here remains in there. Yeah. So the medications, some of them, the purpose is there's a steroid that limits the fluid, the mucus production and the inflammation, so the steroid. Now, maybe for emergency it's okay, but you prolong intake or inhalation of steroids will actually decrease your immune system in the lungs so that you become more prone to cough and respiratory infection. So you are suppressing the asthmatic attack, well and good. The prolonged use of that actually thins out the airway and makes you more prone to infection. So hindi ka mag-pneumonia. No? So you limit the asthma attack, then you end up with pneumonia or TB. No? And these ones are bronchodilator. They open up your airway. So this one limits the inflammation, and this one opens up the airway, opens it up. But the side effect of this, like Ventolin and Bricanil, is tremors, muscle weakness, palpitations, and if you have a heart problem, your heart can actually have more problems because it's pumping too fast. No? That's the effect. So I remember one time I took Ventolin and Bricanil, I could feel myself going like this, you know. I can hear my heartbeat, and every time it beats, my head is going like this, no? Because of the pounding effect. If I were given a choice between oral and inhalation thing for asthma, I'd pick the inhalation thing. It works fast, but at least it's not as powerful a drug you'll be having on the bloodstream. Okay. So Flovent, these are the steroids. If the asthma is really severe, they are given steroids. You're given mucolytics, and these are some of the things they're doing. But of course, the side effects are not so good. Okay. So side effects. We have bone thinning, osteoporosis, growth suppression. If you're a kid, it will stop you growing too much. No? Thrush, that means the white fungal infection in the mouth. No? Nagkakaroon mga singaw-singaw. No? And you can see it there. And then, some people even have worse asthma afterwards because they used to suppress the immune system, and when it comes back with the vengeance. See, it's like what we studied before. Asthma is an autoimmune disease. Normally, the immune system will fight invaders. But in asthma, you inhale the invader and immediately it says, no, stop breathing so that you will not inhale the invader. So it's OA, overacting. But if you don't breathe, you die. And as Brooke Shields said, you know what Brooke Shields said? She doesn't want smoking. Yeah? Because in smoking, you can die. And when you die, you lose a very special part of your life. Brooke Shields. Okay, antiopylene, can cause cardiac arrhythmias. So And then some other herb medicine can cause shock. You know, you swell up, you die. So how? There are some techniques that we can do, like make lifestyle change. Find out what's causing the problem, what's triggering the problem, and stay away from it. Engage your family, because family can help, emotional wise at least, and become a problem solver. If you have some problems that seems to be really heavy, then you find ways to. But this is more of the emotional part. No? Acupuncture is something that is really nice. We stimulate the airways to open up. So there are techniques, there are points, and I'll show it to you later. No? And stimulate the immune system or the anti-allergy reactions, so that it will suppress the mucus forming. So we will have patients having severe asthma attack. I remember my sister-in-law, she would have asthma attack every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, and she was already on all the medications, and 6 months she was having that. One single acupuncture treatment.
Wow.
So nahit namin, na bullseye namin. And that stopped the attack. One case of having severe asthma attack, we did one treatment, it didn't work. I repeated the treatment, and that suppressed it. So there are techniques. Okay. And there are herbal medicines that are being used. One herb they use is ephedra in the United States before, but because there are people who died from it because they use it for weight reduction. If you use ephedra or makwang for asthma, it's perfect. But if you use it for any other problem, although it can make you lose weight, it's not. Its main function is for asthma, but it's suppressed. It's now banned in the United States. Now there is a technique called the buteco, and what they say is that asthma patients get more and more constriction or tightening of the airway, because as you inhale and you breathe out, you have high oxygen in your lungs. No? Because of the high oxygen in lungs, the reaction is for your lung to close up. So the exercise is they try to exercise the patient to stop breathing. Right? Like if you're having asthma attack, they'll tell you, okay, start exercising. You hold your breath. You exhale first, and then there'll be air trapped in there, and then you hold your breath as long as you can. And then breathe in, and then you keep exercising until you can move around, lengthening your time of holding your breath. And it seemed to help. There are a lot of patients that you've been helped. So they researched it, and they have gotten results that were quite good. So you check the internet about it. No? Okay. Then fatty acid. There are certain chemicals that reacts, such as in egg yolk and seafoods and meat, that if you have omega fats like fish oil, cod liver oil, olive oil, flaxseed oil, they have a reaction, an anti-allergy reaction. So we use it for autoimmune disease, we use it for anything that is an inflammatory reaction. Then fruits and vegetables. The enzymes here in fruits and vegetables are very powerful, including the vitamins and the minerals, and they help counteract the inflammatory reaction. So I make as part of my armament the live enzyme group. I prescribe that. The more there's inflammation, the more there's tightening, the more there are fluid and mucus buildup, I give. And this enzyme dissolve those plugged up mucus. Bromelain is an enzyme from pineapples, and it has again anti-inflammatory property. We also use it even for the joints. But when we give it, the bromelain is very, very powerful in the outer layer of the pineapple, or maybe the green pineapple, the not so ripe pineapple. So these are the top 10 anti-asthma food. Notice the avocado, di ba? Okay, the oil here, the omega oil, can you help? What is this? Hindi ko mabasa. Sorry, we just copied this. No? Apples, broccoli, no? Banana, ginger, spinach, rosemary, sunflower seeds because of the omega oil there. And then what's this?
Sweet potato.
Potatoes, kale, and it's always kale, no?
Turmeric.
Turmeric, which is your yellow ginger. This is the normal
Like I
one.
say.
And this is,
Uh-huh.
what's that? Ashitaba? Yeah, Ashitaba. It's a cleanser. Okay, now Boswellia is used in Ayurvedic medicine in order to help the immune system function better. So again, it's an anti-inflammatory effect. And then for patients who are overweight, we tell them to lose weight. It has a biofeedback is when you tell your body you get well, you know, you mind over body thing. Okay. So what do you do? Find out what causes the problem. Some people will do a scratch test. They take a little bit of the chemical or food that they may be having allergic to, just to test, and scratch lightly on the skin. For those with allergies, you will see a reddish reaction on the skin. The intradermal testing would be more injecting it under skin, kind of painful. Huh? Then there are IgE, IgG, which is in the blood, and usually when there's allergy, these two goes up. Then you can try the food challenge. Let's see, if you're gonna have an allergy, you feed them. Then you get an asthma attack, oh, that's it. Huh? Then you die, oh, that's the kind. Now you know, right? So you do detox, so there will be a lecture on detox before, no? Immune rehab, we believe if the immune system is OA, and you know, it's like the soldiers, you know, going after normal people, you know, not bad people, then you slap their face. You wake up, you know, something is wrong. Why are you bullying other, you know, non-enemies? Then you treat the symptoms, something to suppress the allergic response and the anti-inflammatory response, and then prevent recurrence through lifestyle change. See, that is basically how you do it. Find out what's causing it, do something about it, and then prevent it from recurring. So, medically, they give antihistaminics, okay? They do sprays, steroids, and also steroids internally, and then some immune boosters. The natural way, antihistaminics would be ginkgo biloba and omega oil. That would be your antihistaminic. Alternative wise, no? Then nasal spray, you can use peppermint or eucalyptus oil. That opens up and unclog the sinus, opens up the lungs. You can also give certain things like, as I said before, onion juice. Onion is a bronchodilator and dissolves the mucus faster than Lagoon D. Okay. Juice, or you eat it, but you can juice it. So enzymes. So enzymes are anti-inflammatory. There are plant sterols. Then you give something to boost the immune system. Ginseng, propolis. So we have this here. Right? So preventive wise, you get the hypoallergenic diet. 3 meals a day before 6 with dinner. Early sleep, exercise regularly, stress reduction. Simple lang. Simple lang. Of course, our problem is when it's happening. So you may want to do other things. So you can give some herbs for to dissolve the phlegm. You know? We use lamb tonic, African sea coconut. We use pei pak po, which is 15 herbal combination with honey. So I use both kung severe yung asthmatic attack. The problem with the pei pak po is too sweet. Okay. Then you can use tahibo tea, you can use blood cleansers, detoxifiers. There are herbs that cleanses the blood so that you will not react too much. So this can be incorporated with some of the choices here. But what I do is, remember what I gave you before, the apple cider vinegar with olive oil? That does everything now. That's a complete asthma thing. Anti-asthma. Are you familiar? Who doesn't know about the digestive tonic thing? Okay. Apple cider vinegar. Unfortunately, we're running out of apple cider vinegar in the whole archipelago. Clark doesn't have it. Subic doesn't have it. It's gone. No? Yeah. Oh, it's also in Metro Manila. So I don't know who's getting it, who's buying it. So maybe you can use balsamic vinegar. I don't think it's as good, but you can use balsamic vinegar, mix it with olive oil, extra virgin oil, and then you put 2 garlic, 2 onions, 1 green papaya, 1 ripe or unripe pineapple, whichever you can give. That will be your enzymes. Huh? Then you put turmeric in there, yellow ginger, and 5 to 10 pieces of cayenne pepper. Very powerful. Okay, and then you blend everything or you chop everything, and then you give a tablespoon 3 times a day. During attack, you may double or triple the dose. Yeah. Or maybe even increase the onion. No? Okay, so continue sa medical treatment. You do blood cleanser, you give activate carbon, you do some detox procedure like steam bath, sauna, things like that. You give ampalaya malunggay. These are bitter herbs. Certain herbs are bitter and their job is to clean the blood. And you can give chlorophyll. This will be the green extract of plants. They are blood builders and blood cleansers. Then you do mucolytic, something to dissolve the phlegm. Well, they do salbutamol, terbutaline, and they give that. But what we give would be onion juice, ginkgo biloba, tanglad, okra, licorice, mullein, ginseng. These are all bronchodilators. Di ba? Kaninang ni Lord, no? So, okra is not expensive, tanglad is not expensive, onion juice is not expensive. Okay. Then, of course, medyo matapang yung onion juice, no? So, they mix it with honey. Honey would be propolis, which is a natural antibiotic. And it has millions and millions of phytochemicals to help balance your system. There are some physical techniques that are used: nebulization, stimulation, chest tapping. So when you're doing the stimulation, they do clamp against the lungs to make the phlegm, be able to easily coughed out. Now what we do will be acupuncture on certain points. So stomach 36 will be the point, forefinger below the knee. And then there's lung 5 on the end of this. Okay. This would be what is that? Spin 6, which is in here. Anyway, you can write it down and check the internet where it is. Okay. All right. You can do acupressure. They have a copy.
Hard copy.
Yeah. Okay. And maganda yun. At least you have the 3 pages, no? And then epinephrine for emergency, no? But then you can do exercise palagi. Your body will produce adrenaline. So again, when food is held in the colon too long, it becomes toxic, and these toxins are then reabsorbed, and it makes your immune system go crazy. So cleansing the colon is essential. Use more fibers, no? Give probiotics. We have that, di ba? So may enzyme ka na, may probiotics ka pa. And you give the body a lot of other phytochemicals. When you get the extract of enzymes from fruits, it's not only the enzymes you get, you also get phytochemicals. And those are very powerful. Even in super minute amount, they work. Just like homeopathy, no? Homeopathy, they take a chemical, dilute it to the 10,000 times, then they sell it. You could not see anything anymore there. It's just the energy signature of the plant that is there. So, what we do is, the more variety you have, the more phytochemicals your system will have. Yeah, we love the multiple herbal treatment. Now white flour, white rice, white sugar, they have the body nutrients and they plug up the intestines. Kaya there's a saying, white sugar, white rice, white bread, pretty soon you're dead. Or the whiter the bread, the sooner you're dead. These are mucus-forming food. We want that cleared out. So we want the whole wheat bread. Or if your bread is white, you toast it. Toast your bread. No? Or red rice, brown rice, and so on. Whole wheat bread. No? So that includes the white pasta. Kaya gusto natin whole wheat pasta. Di ba meron there's such a thing. No? And juice fasting will eliminate toxins because of the enzymes there. And clean the colon. And then, carrots, parsley, celery with garlic and piece of onion would be very good. When you cough, it's not a bad thing. It's because the body wants to get rid of something. So, some people would suppress the coughing mechanism, like anti-tussive. So, painom siya. Ano ba yan? Robitussin. No? Diba? So, it suppressed that coughing mechanism. What happens? Your phlegm keeps building up. You are not able to expel it. You end up with pneumonia afterwards. Hindi nakalabas yung the bacteria couldn't come out. If there's an infection, the phlegm just builds up. It's not a nice thing for the phlegm to stay there. Okay. Now, other herbs are Cascara Sagrada, which is for making you move your bowel better. No? Ephedra, which is your mahwang, which is banned in the US. Fenugreek helps lower sugar and helps dissolve fats. Garlic, ginger, golden seal, Licorice lobelia, it's an herb that is a favorite of one alternative doctor and practitioner. Marshmallow, mullein, passion flower, tahibo, psyllium, just to clear out, and cholesterol also, and valerian root. Okay, valerian would be used more to sedate or relax the airway kasi pang tranquilizer siya. Huh? So, health is approved. If your toxins are eliminated out, then health is built up. So, that diet is very essential. So, yung blood cleanser, circulatory system, colon cleanser, basically, yan yung mga, that's the areas that you clean up. And you use either vitamins, minerals, or supplement. For people with hormonal problems, some female or male formulas are given. And then vitamin A, vitamin E, B complex are given. Sometimes B12 injection are given. It helps with wheezing, and especially for vegan, for some patients who are completely vegan, sometimes they may have need of B12 injection. But if they're taking their probiotic, they don't need to. Yeah, so di ba mga vegan, no? They inject once a month or so because they say they lack the B12. But you know, your good bacteria produces B12. So for vegan, give them live enzyme, no problem for no need for injection. Huh? And then selenium, zinc, basically you use that to help protect the immune system. The good bacteria will help you from building up bad bacteria. And omega oil to prevent mucus buildup because they have anti-inflammatory property and they boost the immune system. Sometimes we give CoQ10 if the patient is really weak, to provide the cells with oxygen and produce the antibodies to fight disease. So acupressure points that help the nervous system, liver 3, kasi nga there's anxiety involved, no? Emotional component. Lung 7 clears lung. Lung 7 will be this point. You go like this will be lung 7. So you can press in your index finger like this. Okay, pointing finger, this would be your lung 7. This will be your lung 5. So you can press on this, you can press here, or there are points to suppress the allergy attack here. Or coughing, the lung. So press real hard, you get improvement. There's also a point here, just below your left armpit. You look for the space between the ribs. Then look for a tender spot there. Yeah, and then you start pressing that. During asthma attack, you press that. Press real hard until you are ready. So look for maybe there's one or two there, you just press it. See, isn't God wonderful? No?
It's painful.
Oh yes, they help open up the airway. So anyway. Okay. And then pericardium 6 relaxes the chest. The pericardium 6 would be the finger here. That would be the tendon. The fingers through the base of the wrist. That also helps with blood pressure problem, with heart problem. So it's not just the lungs, no? Heart and blood pressure. The pericardium 6 stimulates the covering of the heart and also stimulates lung reaction. Di ba maganda? At least you have, now liver 3 is on between the big toe and the second toe. So if this is, so if this is your foot, no? That will be here. That helps with cholesterol, that helps the liver clean out toxins, that helps with blood pressure problem too kasi it will lower cholesterol. You press on that. For those with weight problems, keep pressing on that. It will be good for your liver to, especially yung mga fatty liver, no? And so, liver 3, lung 7, pericardium 6. Especially for kids, no? This is very good for kids. So that one plus this one would be a good combination. Okay, so but if they're having difficulty breathing na, you press here, or you press here, medyo luluwag yung pagiging yan, no? And then lung 1 would be just beneath the collarbone. You press 1 inch below that. There's another point, so you can just keep pressing that, no? And then here in the center, okay. And in the back, you can just press on the spine. Yeah. So sana may kopya rin sila nito. Okay. And then for health maintenance, you press on the spinal area para mapalakas yung immune system, on the abdominal area. Now, if there's some points that are very tender, that's a warning. Warning point. Sabi niya, oh, there's problem here, kidneys maybe. If it's in here, maybe the lungs, no? So the area that's too tender, there's a problem there. So then what you do, you press on that until mawala yung pain. Until the pain goes away. So you're treating it now when you do the pressure.
Chinese medicine and Chinese massage.
Yes, apo, yeah. Actually, that shiatsu can also do that now. Shiatsu would be your Japanese massage. It follows the meridian. No? So meridian. So ganun doon sa at yan. Actually, you stimulate this side of the spine and then this center all over full body health niya. The health is from here and here tsaka dito. So if you forget everything else, at least you can do this. And you press like this or you go like this or you just massage. Massage.
Just on the right side.
Left side, right side. Inano ko lang. Kasi left side, right side. It's best to do it on both sides para balance. Now, the one here, they say if you're having asthma attack, it should be muscle, the left side. In here naman, middle line, and left and right, yung yun, no? See? The one I showed you. Okay, so that's a powerful point. Then forefinger below the kneecap would be a strong point for energy. And then the forefinger above the bone here will also be then the end of the finger you can keep pressing. That's for overall immune system point. And the toes. Okay. So I keep saying this is my favorite text for healing, no? Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper in health, even as your soul prospereth. 3 John 2. Maliwanag? See, I'm happy you waited. It was really very traffic talaga lagi dito sa inyo. But I hope you got a copy of this and it will help you. You can also help others with this. So we don't need to be so full of all the medications that the patient is taking. For emergency, maybe we'll use. But if you can do without it and do other things, I think people will be in better health today. Check the internet on the Boteco breathing, it's nice. But you also have all these acupuncture points that you can use for these health problems. Questions? Yes.
Doc, pwede rin ba yung yung laser?
Yeah, on the point, di ba, I told you before, you can do the laser. No need to press, no? It will work. Yeah, that's the nice thing about acupuncture pointing. You know, you can even use a tuning fork. Dong, and then put it on the point. Resonances can stimulate the acupuncture. So you can use sound wave, you can use electricity, you can use pressure, you can use thorns, you can use needles, you can use laser. It doesn't matter how you stimulate points. Yes. No, that's Chinese medicine has a mixture of both truth and error. Like for erectile dysfunction, you get the horn of the rhinoceros because it's hard, therefore it, you know. so it's. I was talking with a PCM doctor. It's a professor in medicine at the UP College of Medicine. He's also working PGH and he's also the chief acupuncturist at Medical City. And he was telling me that the group of acupuncturists would be telling each other, oh, you know, this formula for, let's say, a certain disease, you know? Oh, that includes the blood from a virgin, you know? And also the rope from a hanged man. You know? So they say, why does it work? Well, they take the rope and maybe they extract something, maybe the person had sweat out and used chemical when they're hanging him. So somebody said, look, Jude, stop making explanation for that. Most of these things are baloney. There are legitimate research done on certain things, but they also included the weird stuff from tiger's whiskers to, you know, I mean, it's traditional Chinese medicine. When you say tradition, it will incorporate superstitious beliefs. And what we like to do with the TCM is we get only the scientific part, minus the mumbo jumbo. Okay? So there are such. So it's weird. So we will get only the scientific things that will not harm and are duplicable and it does not rely on a placebo or a psychological reaction. Because I can give you something and tell you it's a medicine and I have a good convincing power, you can take it and you will get result. But what we want is not that it work because of the psychological part. It would be nice not to incorporate that, but it will work because there are scientific explanation for it. And so we don't do the boutique thing. Buteyko is different. Buteyko is a Russian doctor.
Actually, kasi sa family namin, mostly ang asthma.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yung cousin ko kasi, pinagawa sa kanya, nakain siya ng So, naniniwala sila na
Well, if you believe something, it will work on you, but it doesn't have a scientific explanation except that you have faith on the boutique, no? Poor boutique, no? Okay.
I've seen in your slides a lot of vegetables are good in the natural healing.
Yes,
Earlier,
yes.
say like malunggay, ampalaya.
Yes, yes.
Nowadays, you can find a lot of toxinized vegetable like ampalaya.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, that will be good.
Yes, and they will also get good results.
Yeah.
First of all, they're raw, no?
Yeah.
Or dried, and second, for people who for kids who don't want to eat vegetables,
Yes, yes.
and if they are the kinds that have been crushed, and there are techniques where they can crush the vegetable, get the juice, and then do freeze dry so that the juice will be in powder form. Well and good, but the simple powder, it will still work. I think it's for convenience and not having to prepare it in juice form or blend or something like that. But for patients who really want the improvement, I suggest they use if they really want to get faster, stronger results. Using is still one of the best. Now, there are people who are allergic to certain vegetables. The reason for that is they're not digesting it fully. So they have problems with digestion. What they do is I give them enzymes so they digest the food better. So when it's absorbed in the system, it's not going to create reactions. Or for a time, I just do cleansing just to give the digestive system time off. So may mga ganun po cases. You see their allergy test and a lot of this vegetable they're reacting. So you clean up the toxins so that they help.
kasi yung son pa, yung daughter ko, allergies sila sa shrimp.
Of course, the crustaceans are notorious for allergies. Why? Their job is to clean the sea of toxins, especially mercury and other things. When we eat them, you are actually putting the toxins that they ate into your system. Actually, there's a medicine called chitosan or chitosan, which is actually from the shells of crustaceans. Normally, we don't eat the shells, diba? It's only the laman, no? The flesh. But the shell, which we don't really eat, no? When pulverized and put into smaller molecule, binds toxins. So they are taken orally and they bind toxins and they eliminate it out. So it is designed really to pull toxins out. So the flesh is a no-no, but the shell, when it is created in a smaller molecular form, is used medicinally to pull toxins out. So I think God is a plan for this type, for other things, and that is why when we have patients with cancer, with allergies, with asthma, a conventional medical doctor will tell a cancer patient you can eat anything. But when you go into an allergologist, they will tell you, oh, don't eat this. When you have asthma, they'll tell you, don't eat this. So it's there.
It's more better if we make it a fermentation, like getting an apsara.
Yes, that's how you produce enzymes. I mean, stronger enzymes. The vegetable.
What I mean, the pineapple that you said.
Achara. Yes, actually it's like achara na. Yes. The normal, yeah, the normal, yes.
I'm using only the of course, what's not that,
But not the skin. Yes, the skin has all the enzymes. You get better. You get better.
Dahil may yung papaya, hindi ko na inaano.
Yes.
Talagang wala nang sarap. Nandiyan pa yung ano.
Yeah.
Pero I presume and I really believe that it's more stronger.
It's more powerful, more potent. Anyway, when you put it in the achara foam thing with the olive oil and apple cider, some people even add the honey, you know, so you get better result.
In our life enzymes, Doc, I noticed in our video, the pineapple, including the crown.
Yes, it has to be.
Yeah.
It's
So you
there.
still have inside even the crown.
Yes, even the Di ba ang galing, no? Yeah, no, just think a product with 150 fruits. That's already a wow thing. No? But remember, you can take it and you feel full when you take it. No? But remember, you still need
You have to eat it,
normal.
you still.
Siya mo na po.
Doctor, ano po what is the best for osteoarthritis?
Well, osteoarthritis, you can give enzyme and anti-inflammatory thing for the joint, but you have to regenerate the joint if possible. So we do acupuncture, we give chondroitin and glucosamine, and we find out why it's not just aging. If this is the joint, the cartilage, no, that it gets denuded and thin out, maybe because of weight, but it may be that the blood vessel supplying the cartilage, because wala nang mga blood vessel cartilage, has become tightened with cholesterol. So you have to unclog that. You can give omega oil, you get anti-inflammatory, but we want to clear out the circulation so that it will give you the nutrient to help that joint. So may mga techniques we use. But one of the things, lose weight. If you're overweight, do some therapy there. Acupuncture has been known to stimulate better repair of cartilage. Take the glucosamine, chondroitin thing. It's the brand name is Arthro. You go to Mercury Drug, is it? No? You can take it. Then they take the omega oil, fish oil, flaxseed oil, olive oil, and then do some exercises. Maybe I tell my patient not to do 10 or 20 exercises on that joint. Maybe 3, just to loosen it out. You can do hot and cold treatment on that. You apply heat for a hot pack for about 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes of cold, then 10 minutes of heat, and so on, and then the last 10 minutes of heat, and then maybe 1 minute of cold. Apply something to dry it up, then apply oil. The purpose of that is to open up the pores and the blood vessel to put nutrients in, and then when you close it with the cold, it goes out like this. So it's like open, close, open, close, open, close. You speed up the circulation in that area. That helps the joint heal.
Totoo ba, Doctor, na masama yung peanut?
Well, the nuts are rich in uric acid. So if you have uric acid problem, and peanuts compared to other nuts has something called aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is cancer producing, so we don't really like it. All the nuts you can. But again, God placed the nuts in a hard shell so that we don't overindulge. You know? Diba? You have to break it open. So if you take more than maybe 10 or 15 pieces, your chances of your uric acid going up becomes high. But if you drink lots of water, you can flush out the uric acid.
What will be the good bacteria to add for the fermentation?
Usually during the fermentation process, they do have some cultures that they have to get commercially. No? Pero let's say for the fermenting cabbage, the cabbage usually has already some lactobacillus there. You get raw cabbage, they would have. So you can actually chop it, put it in water, and let it stay there for 3 days, you know, in the normal room temperature, and that will ferment, and you will have your something like lactobacillus type. You can drink that. That will be your Yakult, and maybe.
If we are making chara, can we use good bacteria inside? So add it.
I haven't tried it. You may try it. That would be nice, no?
That's a balance.
That would be like making kefir. You know what kefir is, diba? Maybe get your soy milk and mix it with your. Now we'll see if it really has still alive bacteria there. No? Experiment.
Just use it as a
You
matter.
discover.
Yeah, you discover it. Like we were talking of putting life enzyme on the face as a facial, you know. And the effect is really nice.
Wow, I'll do that.
You'd be surprised. A lot of companies would have herbs and they'll drink it, even if it's external, and then they apply it, and they're getting results. Experiment.
I'll experiment.
It's just enzyme. Calluses, maybe you can use it on calluses and get rid of it.
That's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
For our life instant right now, since it is 150% vegetables, what is the best time for us to take that to maximize the efficacy of our
Empty
life?
stomach.
Oh, empty. So that's before meal.
Yes, yes. And not eat immediately. Just give it time to be absorbed.
Oh, yeah. Say how many minutes?
Hour, 30 minutes, an hour. The farther away from it, it will be the better.
Activated
I'll
charcoal.
experiment.
Is it good for asthma?
Yes, that's for your detox. So we use it. When I have really severe asthma patients, I give it to them maybe twice a day or even at night. And it doesn't taste bad anyways. Oh yeah, there's capsules, there's the tablets which we can get from Healthy Options. Is actually with sweetener. So I think that limits the effect because it's in a starch form and they put the sugar in there. So the reason why you get activated carbon is because they remove all the minerals there so that it will bind things. But what they did in Healthy Options is they put it in tablet form. So look for the capsule form, or if you want, the powder form.
You may mention that your skin constitutions.
Yeah, but if you take it, it's not gonna work as well. And what they do is they process it so that's in the super low molecule. Because if you take that as is, you can have allergic reaction. Yeah. Plus, it's so hard to grind. No? It's so hard. Yeah. Okay. So, any other
I
question?
got a question. It's Ted's father-in-law, he suffers from
Ayun.
COPD. He was supposed to come here where he's stuck in traffic.
The same program you do for COPD, not because asthma is part of the COPD. COPD means chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That includes emphysema, that includes chronic bronchitis and asthma. So they obstruct they obstruct the airway because of COPD. Now, once they have this kind of disease, the emphysema and chronic bronchitis, the bronchitis is more of an infection that keeps coming back. No? So they just give antibiotics, some steroids, some bronchodilator. But the emphysema, they give that, but they don't expect him to improve, the patient to improve. But doing this kind of things, we've had patients improve marvelously. Their own oxygen, they're off the oxygen in a 2 weeks time. So cleansing opens up the lungs. And then when they check, they'd be surprised that there's such an improvement, but they know it's not going to improve. So in alternative medicine, they tell us it's not going to improve. No, we don't believe that. We do something, and then we get results.
I was just talking to that guy earlier because I wanted him to attend this seminar. Unfortunately, he told me that the father-in-law, the doctor of the father-in-law already gave up. No more. So it looks like they already give up.
The patient also gave up.
Yeah, but Doc, please correct me if I'm wrong because our intention for our life inside is really to do something, to do everything we can to the last minute. Then I told the guy without consulting, of course, I just used my practical knowledge.
Yes.
Then I said, since they give up already,
What can you do,
just try to exhaust all possible means. Just give your father-in-law that life in science. After all, they're giving up already. Then they said, okay, who knows, it might help because we strongly believe that our life inside will really do something about this. Since they're giving up already, so try your best to at least if you can put it directly under the tongue because that's the way I understand. So to have immediate efficacy. Then as much as you can, you try to give that product that you got from us. Then I said, will it not make some sort of adverse effect to the medicine that they are giving? No, I think it will even make
Just enzymes.
that will even help the medicine, whatever medicine they're taking. That is food actually. So just give your father-in-law, so it will give him the energy that is coming from the MD, mukhang doktor, pero hindi doktor. So I tried myself to advise him to give the enzyme still, even they're giving up already. Would that be okay, no?
Yes, but if, let's say we really want to help them, give them a copy of the lecture.
Yeah, they're supposed to be here.
Give them a copy. Kasi the reason why alternative medicine is gaining ground is because of the narrow-mindedness of the doctors, not thinking outside the box. So, whereas there are more things out there that they know, and if you're doing the same thing over and over, you're not getting this any good result. You have to look for other means, even though they may look weird or sound weird. What can you lose? So I think they should pray and ask God for a sign and wisdom, because if they're really praying, they shouldn't give up.
That is in my mind, nothing to lose. Anyway, they're giving up already, so nothing to lose. Just give inside. What if you can recover in this time? Thanks a lot next time.
Yes. You'd be surprised what God can accomplish for you. Good things. Anyway, I hope you were enlightened. I would suggest for that, get a copy for their family and give it to them. Okay, may God bless us all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dizon. I don't think you're going to be here next month because you're too busy, is that right? So, well, hopefully October. We'll have him back in October. He's just too busy in September. Thank you for coming tonight. Really appreciate it. Hope you learned a great amount of information. Again, if you need a handout, Angel or Lori has one. You give those out to your friends who have asthma or family members or whoever. And we'll see you again here in the near future. And Dr. Dizon will be back in October. Okay, thank you. Have a great night. God bless you. Yes.